Gil Galad was an Elven king. Of him the harpers sadly sing, the last whose realm was fair and free, between the mountains and the sea. Gil Galad's lineage has been the subject of some debate, with Tolkien himself making adjustments to his ancestry throughout his writings. In the final accepted version, Gil Galad is the son of Fingon, a brave Noldorin prince who perished during the First Age. This makes Gil Galad a direct descendant of the House of Finwë, the most prominent family of the Noldor elves, who were known for their wisdom, bravery, and strong leadership. His full name, Ereinion Gil Galad, means Scion of Kings, Star of Radiance, reflecting both his royal heritage and his reputation as a shining light for his people. Born during the tail end of the First Age, Gil Galad's childhood would have been shaped by the tumultuous events that defined the early history of Middle-earth. His father, Fingon, played a key role in various battles against the dark forces of Morgoth, the first Dark Lord. When Morgoth was finally defeated in the War of Wrath, much of the land of Beleriand was submerged beneath the sea. This cataclysmic event marked the end of the First Age and the beginning of the Second Age, a time of relative peace but also growing shadows. After the fall of Beleriand, the surviving Noldor, led by Gil Galad, migrated to the western shores of Middle-earth. There, they founded the kingdom of Lindon, one of the last great elven realms in the world. Gil Galad became the High King of the Noldor and ruled from Lindon, making it a safe haven for elves who remained in Middle-earth. Lindon, located near the Grey Havens, was also a vital connection to the Undying Lands, where many elves departed for the west. Gil Galad's reign in Lindon was marked by wisdom, foresight, and a commitment to maintaining peace in Middle-earth. He forged strong alliances with the dwarves and men, especially with the Númenóreans, who became key allies in the fight against evil. Gil Galad's kingdom was prosperous, and he earned the respect and admiration of both his own people and the other races of Middle-earth. The Second Age was not free from the influence of darkness. After the fall of Morgoth, his chief servant, Sauron, began to rise to power. Sauron, in disguise, sought to dominate Middle-earth by corrupting its inhabitants, and he crafted a plan centered on the creation of the Rings of Power. He disguised himself as Anatar, the Lord of Gifts, and deceived the elven smiths of Eregion, particularly Celebrimbor, into forging the Rings of Power. Unbeknownst to them, Sauron secretly forged the One Ring to control all the others. Gil Galad, however, did not trust Sauron. He refused to deal with him and warned others, including the elves of Eregion, about the dangers of this new and mysterious figure. When Sauron's treachery was finally revealed, Gil Galad became a leader in the resistance against the Dark Lord. His realm of Lindon was one of the few elven strongholds to remain untouched by Sauron's growing influence. The defining moment of Gil Galad's life came during the War of the Last Alliance. A massive coalition of elves and men formed to combat Sauron. By this time, Sauron had become immensely powerful and had declared himself the ruler of Middle-earth, intent on dominating all its peoples. Recognizing the gravity of the threat, Gil Galad allied with Elendil, the leader of the Númenóreans, to form the last alliance of elves and men. Together, they gathered their armies and marched on Sauron's fortress of Barad-dûr in Mordor. The war culminated in the Battle of Dagorlad and the subsequent siege of Barad-dûr. Gil Galad fought bravely in these battles, wielding his legendary spear, Eglos, a weapon that struck fear into the hearts of his enemies. Alongside Elendil, he led the assault against Sauron himself. However, despite their bravery, both Gil Galad and Elendil were slain in the final confrontation with Sauron. In a fierce struggle, they managed to weaken the Dark Lord, allowing Isildur, Elendil's son, to cut the One Ring from Sauron's hand, effectively defeating him. Yet this victory came at a heavy price, with the deaths of both Gil Galad and Elendil marking the end of an era. Gil Galad's death brought an end to the line of High Kings among the Noldor, as no successor took up the mantle after him. Gil Galad's legacy lived on long after his death. He was remembered as one of the greatest kings of the elves, a leader who stood against the rising tide of darkness and gave his life to defeat Sauron. His heroism is immortalized in The Lord of the Rings through the song of Gil Galad, a lament that Frodo and Sam hear in Rivendell. The elves of Rivendell sing of their fallen king, recalling his bravery and the sorrow that followed his death. Gil Galad's role in the War of the Last Alliance was crucial in preventing Sauron from fully dominating Middle-earth during the Second Age. Although his death marked the end of the Noldorin kingship in Middle-earth, his actions ensured that the Free Peoples had a chance to resist Sauron's power for centuries to come. In many ways, Gil Galad's sacrifice paved the way for the events of the Third Age, including the eventual destruction of the One Ring and the final defeat of Sauron. That concludes our dive into the history of Gil Galad. Until next time, stand strong against the forces of darkness. The vault is now closed.